Imagine cycling down a narrow cobblestone street, centuries-old gabled houses rising on either side of you, their reflections shimmering in the canal below. Bicycle bells chime in the distance. The air smells faintly of fresh stroopwafels from a nearby market stall. Ahead of you, a small wooden bridge arches gracefully over the water, and beyond it, the city stretches out in layers. More canals, more bridges, more history.
This is Amsterdam, and if you've ever seen a photo of those iconic canal houses or heard about the city's world-class museums, chances are you've already fallen a little bit in love with it. Welcome to Check-In, Chill Out. We're your travel agents today, and we're heading to one of Europe's most enchanting cities, Amsterdam, the capital of the Netherlands. This is a city that somehow manages to feel both grand and intimate, historic and progressive, relaxed and buzzing with energy. It's a place where art, culture, and a uniquely Dutch sense of freedom come together in the most beautiful way.
In this episode, we're going to walk you through everything you need to know to experience Amsterdam properly. From visa requirements and getting around to what the weather's really like, and most importantly, what to see and do while you're there. So, let's check in with Amsterdam.
Did you know that Amsterdam has more canals than Venice? The city is home to 165 canals stretching over 100 kilometers, with more than 1,600 bridges connecting them. That's right, more bridges than Venice too. The canal ring, known as the Grachtengordel, was built during Amsterdam's golden age in the 17th century and is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Walking or cycling along these canals feels like stepping into a living painting, with those iconic narrow houses leaning slightly forward, their gables decorated in every architectural style from Renaissance to Art Nouveau.
But here's what really surprises people. Amsterdam sits below sea level. Large parts of the city are actually built on millions of wooden poles driven deep into the marshy ground. Some buildings rest on as many as 13,000 poles. It's a feat of engineering that's kept this city standing for centuries, and it's one of the reasons Amsterdam feels so unique. It's a city literally built on water.
Amsterdam is in the Netherlands, which is part of the European Union and the Schengen area. That means visa requirements depend on your nationality and how long you plan to stay. If you're from the EU, EEA or Switzerland, you don't need a visa at all. Just bring your valid passport or national ID card and you're free to enter and stay as long as you like. Simple as that.
If you're from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea or Singapore, you can visit the Netherlands visa-free for up to 90 days within any 180-day period. Just make sure your passport is valid for at least 3 months beyond your planned departure date from the Schengen area.
Here's something important. Starting in late 2026, travellers from visa-exempt countries will need to apply for ETIAS before entering the Netherlands or any Schengen country. ETIAS stands for European Travel Information and Authorization System, and it's similar to the ESTA system the US uses. The good news is it's quick and easy. You apply online, it costs around €7, and once approved, it's valid for 3 years or until your passport expires. You'll need it before you board your flight, so apply at least a few days before your trip. The system checks your details against security databases. It's not a visa, just a pre-travel authorization.
If you're from India, China, Brazil, Nigeria, or most African, South Asian and South American countries, you'll need to apply for a Schengen visa before you travel. This requires booking an appointment at the Dutch embassy or consulate in your home country, submitting documents like proof of accommodation, travel insurance and financial means, and paying the visa fee. Processing can take several weeks, so start early. My agent tip: always double check the visa requirements for your country as rules may change, and always have your return flight details, accommodation bookings and travel insurance ready when you arrive, even if you don't need a visa. Dutch border control is thorough but professional.
Amsterdam operates on Central European Time, which is UTC+1. During daylight saving time from late March to late October, it shifts to UTC+2. For reference, when it's noon in Amsterdam, it's 11 a.m. in London, 6 a.m. in New York, 3 a.m. in Los Angeles, and 9 p.m. in Sydney.
Most international visitors arrive at Amsterdam Airport Schiphol, one of Europe's busiest and best connected airports. It's modern, efficient, and surprisingly easy to navigate. Immigration is generally smooth. If you're from a visa-exempt country, you'll likely breeze through using the automated gates. The airport is only about 15 kilometres southwest of the city centre, and getting into Amsterdam couldn't be simpler. The train from Schiphol to Amsterdam Central Station takes about 15 minutes and costs around €5. Trains run every 10 to 15 minutes throughout the day. It's fast, convenient, and drops you right in the heart of the city. If you prefer a taxi or rideshare, expect to pay around €40 to €50 for the trip, depending on traffic. There are also airport shuttle buses, but honestly, the train is your best option.
Here's the beautiful thing about Amsterdam. It's a compact, walkable city where almost everything you want to see is within easy reach. The city centre is small enough that you can walk from one end to the other in about 30 minutes, but there are faster, more fun ways to get around.
Amsterdam is one of the most bike-friendly cities in the world. There are more bicycles than people here, about 880,000 bikes for 850,000 residents. Cycling is how locals get around, and it's absolutely the best way to experience the city. You can rent a bike for around €10 to €15 per day from shops all over the city. Just be aware, Amsterdam cyclists take their lanes seriously. Stick to the bike paths, follow the flow, and never stop in the middle of a cycle lane or you'll hear about it. It's exhilarating, it's authentic, and it gives you the freedom to explore at your own pace.
Amsterdam has an excellent public transport system. Trams are the most useful for tourists. They crisscross the city and stop at all the major sites. The metro is great for reaching neighbourhoods outside the centre. Buses connect areas the trams don't reach. You'll need an OV chip card, which is a rechargeable smart card you can buy and top up at stations. Or you can use contactless payment with your bank card. A single journey costs around €3, but if you're using public transport frequently, consider a day pass for around €8.
Honestly, walking is one of the best ways to explore Amsterdam. The city reveals itself slowly. A hidden courtyard here, a tiny bookshop there, a canal-side cafe with tables spilling onto the cobblestones. Wear comfortable shoes and just wander. You'll stumble upon things guidebooks don't mention. My agent tip: rent a bike for at least one day. It's the quintessential Amsterdam experience, and it's genuinely the most efficient and enjoyable way to see the city.
Amsterdam has a way of surprising people. It's smaller than you'd expect, more relaxed than its reputation suggests, and far more beautiful than any photograph can capture. The first thing that strikes you is the architecture. Those narrow, gabled canal houses lean forward slightly, a design feature, not a structural flaw, because goods used to be hoisted up to the upper floors using pulleys. Every building feels like it has a story, and many of them genuinely do. Some date back 400 years.
The Dutch are famously direct, but in the kindest way. They're straightforward, practical, and refreshingly honest. Service can feel less effusive than in some countries, but it's efficient and genuine. Most people speak excellent English, which makes navigating the city incredibly easy for international visitors.
Amsterdam is also incredibly progressive. It's a city that values tolerance, freedom, and individuality. You'll see that reflected everywhere in the open attitudes toward cannabis and the red light district, in the thriving LGBTQ+ community, in the emphasis on cycling and sustainability. There's a sense that people are free to live how they choose as long as they're not harming anyone else. It's refreshing.
The cafe culture here is wonderful. I'm not talking about coffee shops, which in Amsterdam is code for places where cannabis is sold. I'm talking about actual cafes. Brown cafes, or Bruin Kroegen, are traditional Dutch pubs with wooden interiors stained brown by centuries of tobacco smoke. They're cosy, warm, and perfect for a local beer and a chat. Regular cafes serve excellent coffee. The Dutch take their coffee seriously.
Food-wise, Amsterdam is multicultural and delicious. You'll find Indonesian riesttafel, Surinamese roti, Turkish kebabs, and fresh herring from street stalls. Traditional Dutch food includes stroopwafels, thin waffle cookies filled with caramel syrup, bitterballen, which are deep-fried meatballs, and poffertjes, tiny fluffy pancakes dusted with powdered sugar.
One thing to know: Amsterdam can feel touristy in certain areas, especially around Dam Square and the red light district. But step just a few streets away, into neighbourhoods like Jordaan, De Piep or Old West, and you'll find the real Amsterdam, where locals live, work and gather in neighbourhood markets and quiet canal-side cafes.
How many days should you stay in Amsterdam? This is one of the most common questions I get, and here's my honest recommendation. 3 to 4 days is the sweet spot for Amsterdam. 2 days is the absolute minimum. You'll have time to see the major highlights: a canal cruise, 1 or 2 museums, a walk through the Jordan, maybe a bike ride through the city. But you'll be rushing, and Amsterdam is a city that rewards slowing down. 3 to 4 days gives you a much better pace. You can visit the Rijksmuseum, Van Gogh Museum, and Anne Frank House without feeling rushed. You have time to explore different neighborhoods, sit in a cafe without watching the clock, take a day trip to Zaanse or Keukenhof if you're there in spring, and really feel the rhythm of the city. If you have 5 days or more, that's wonderful. You can explore Amsterdam at a leisurely pace. Visit lesser-known museums like the Stedelijk Museum or Museum van Loon, spend more time cycling through parks, and maybe even take a longer day trip to The Hague or Haarlem. Amsterdam is compact, so you don't need weeks here, but give yourself enough time to wander, to get lost on purpose, to sit by a canal with a coffee and just watch the city move around you. That's when Amsterdam reveals itself.
Amsterdam has a maritime temperate climate, which is a fancy way of saying the weather is mild but unpredictable. Rain can appear at any moment, even on a sunny day. The Dutch have a saying, "There's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing." Pack layers and a small umbrella and you'll be fine.
Spring is from March to May and is one of the most beautiful times to visit Amsterdam, especially in April when the tulips are in full bloom. Temperatures range from 8 to 15 degrees Celsius or around 46 to 59 Fahrenheit. The city comes alive, parks fill with flowers, outdoor terraces open, and there's an energy in the air as locals emerge from winter. April is peak tulip season, and if you visit during this time, a trip to Keukenhof Gardens, about 40 minutes outside Amsterdam, is absolutely worth it. 7 million tulips bloom across sprawling gardens. It's breathtaking. Just know that April is also peak tourist season, so book your accommodations and museum tickets well in advance.
Summer is from June to August and is warm and lovely, with temperatures averaging 17 to 22 degrees Celsius, or around 63 to 72 Fahrenheit. Days are long. The sun doesn't set until after 9 p.m. in June and July, which means you have plenty of daylight to explore. This is high season, so the city is buzzing with tourists and festivals. Outdoor concerts, canal-side drinks and park picnics are the norm. It's a wonderful time to visit if you want warm weather and vibrant energy, but expect crowds at major attractions and higher prices for accommodation.
Autumn is from September to November. This is my personal favourite time to visit Amsterdam. September still feels like late summer with mild temperatures around 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. The crowds thin out after the school holidays and the city takes on a golden, cosy quality as the leaves change colour. October and November get cooler and wetter, but there's something charming about Amsterdam in the rain. The reflections on the canals double, the cafes feel extra inviting, and you get to experience the city at its most atmospheric. Hotel prices drop and you'll have museums and streets more to yourself.
Winter is from December to February, and it's cold. Temperatures hover around 2 to 7 degrees Celsius, or 36 to 44 Fahrenheit. It's grey, damp and dark by 4 p.m. But if you can handle the cold, there's magic here. The city lights twinkle along the canals, Christmas markets pop up, and if you're very lucky, the canals might freeze over and you'll see locals ice skating on them. A rare and unforgettable sight. Winter is also the cheapest time to visit. Hotels offer significant discounts, and museums and attractions are far less crowded. Just pack warm layers and embrace the cosy Dutch concept of gezelligheid, a sense of warmth, coziness and togetherness. My agent tip: the best times to visit Amsterdam are April to May for tulips and pleasant weather, or September to early October for fewer crowds and beautiful autumn scenery.
Amsterdam is packed with incredible experiences, from world-class museums to canal-side strolls to neighbourhoods brimming with character. Let me walk you through the highlights. Take a canal cruise. This is the number one thing to do in Amsterdam, and for good reason. The city is best experienced from the water. A canal cruise gives you a completely different perspective, gliding under low bridges, past houseboats and gabled facades, while a guide shares stories about the city's history. Standard 1-hour cruises cost around 15 to 20 euros and run throughout the day. For something special, book a sunset cruise or an evening cruise when the bridges are lit up and the city glows. There are also themed cruises, cheese and wine, pizza, cocktails, if you want to add a bit of fun to the experience.
Visit the Rijksmuseum. The Rijksmuseum is the National Museum of the Netherlands and one of the finest art museums in the world. The building itself is a masterpiece, a grand castle-like structure on Museumplein. Inside, you'll find Dutch Golden Age masterpieces, including Rembrandt's The Night Watch, Vermeer's The Milkmaid, and works by Frans Hals and Jan Steen. You could spend hours here, wandering through 80 galleries that span 800 years of Dutch history and art. Entry is around €22, and I strongly recommend booking your ticket online in advance to skip the queues.
Explore the Van Gogh Museum. The Van Gogh Museum houses the world's largest collection of Vincent van Gogh's paintings and drawings. You'll see iconic works like Sunflowers, The Bedroom, and Almond Blossom, along with letters Van Gogh wrote to his brother Theo that provide insight into his troubled, brilliant mind. The museum does an incredible job of telling Van Gogh's story chronologically, so you follow his artistic development and his personal struggles. It's emotional, beautiful, and deeply moving. Entry is around €21. Book at least 4 to 6 weeks in advance during peak season. This museum sells out.
Visit the Anne Frank House. The Anne Frank House is one of the most important and moving museums in Amsterdam. This is the actual building where Anne Frank and her family hid from the Nazis for over 2 years during World War II, and where she wrote her famous diary. Walking through the narrow hidden rooms where the Frank family lived is a profound experience. You see Anne's bedroom with the posters she put on the walls, the tiny bathroom they all shared, the bookcase that concealed the entrance to the secret annex. It's sobering, heartbreaking, and essential. Tickets cost around €16 and must be booked online, weeks in advance. The museum releases tickets 2 months ahead, and they sell out within hours. Set a reminder and book the moment they become available.
Wander through the Jordaan neighbourhood. The Jordaan is Amsterdam's most charming neighbourhood, and it's where you'll find the city's soul. This former working-class district is now filled with independent boutiques, art galleries, cosy brown cafes, and quiet canals lined with houseboats. There's no specific route to follow, just wander. Browse the shops on the Negenstraatjes, the 9 little streets. Stop for coffee at a canal-side cafe. Visit the Noordermarkt on Saturday mornings for a farmer's market and antiques. The Jordaan feels like a village within a city, and it's absolutely lovely.
Relax in Vondelpark. Vondelpark is Amsterdam's largest and most famous park, and on a sunny day, it's where the entire city seems to gather. Locals jog, cycle, picnic, and lounge on the grass. There are ponds, playgrounds, open-air theatres, and cafes. It's the perfect place to take a break from sightseeing, grab a stroopwafel from a vendor, and just watch Amsterdam life unfold around you. If you're visiting in summer, check if there are any free concerts or performances at the park's open-air theatre.
Explore the red light district, De Wallen. Amsterdam's red light district is famous worldwide, and whether you find it fascinating or uncomfortable, it's part of the city's identity, and the district is surprisingly well policed and safe. Beyond the neon-lit windows, De Wallen is actually one of Amsterdam's oldest neighbourhoods, with beautiful medieval buildings, churches and canals. If you're curious, walk through in the evening when it's most active, but be respectful. Taking photos of the workers is absolutely forbidden and can get you in trouble.
Visit a traditional brown cafe. Brown cafes, Bruin Krugen, are quintessentially Amsterdam. These are old wood-panelled pubs where locals have been gathering for generations. The interiors are dark and cosy, the atmosphere is warm, and the beer flows freely. Order a Dutch beer like Heineken, Amstel, or a local craft brew, and soak in the atmosphere. Some famous brown cafes include Café T Small in the Jordaan, Café Hopper near Dam Square, and De Rijge in the west. It's a slice of authentic Amsterdam life.
Day trip to Zaanse Schans. If you want to see traditional Dutch windmills, Zaanse Schans is your spot. It's a preserved village about 20 minutes north of Amsterdam by train, where you can see working windmills, watch wooden clogs being made, visit a cheese farm and wander through historic houses. It's touristy, yes, but it's also genuinely charming and gives you that postcard-perfect Dutch countryside experience. Entry to the village is free, though some attractions charge a small fee. It's an easy half-day trip.
Experience Amsterdam's markets. Amsterdam loves its markets. The Albert Kuip market in De Piep is the largest and most famous, offering everything from fresh produce and stroopwafels to clothes and souvenirs. The Bloemenmarkt, or flower market, is the world's only floating flower market, where vendors sell tulip bulbs and fresh flowers from barges along the single canal. For antiques and vintage finds, visit the Waterloop Line Flea Market. These markets give you a taste of local life and are perfect for picking up unique souvenirs.
Our final travel tips for Amsterdam. Book major attractions in advance. The Anne Frank House, Van Gogh Museum and Rijksmuseum all require advance booking, especially during peak season. Don't assume you can just show up. You'll likely be turned away. Book online at least 4 to 6 weeks ahead for the Anne Frank House and 2 to 3 weeks for the other museums.
Budget realistically. Amsterdam isn't cheap. Expect to spend around 100 to 150 euros per person per day for mid-range travel. That includes accommodation, food, transport, and a couple of museum entries. Budget travellers can do it for less by staying in hostels and eating from markets, but the city is expensive compared to many European destinations.
Travel insurance is essential. Always get comprehensive travel insurance. It should cover medical emergencies, trip cancellations, lost luggage and theft. Amsterdam is generally safe, but pickpocketing happens in tourist areas and on trams. Protect yourself.
Respect bike lanes. This cannot be overstated. Do not walk in the bike lanes. They're marked in red and run alongside roads and sidewalks. Cyclists move fast and will not stop for you. Stay in the pedestrian areas, and if you do rent a bike, follow the flow and stick to the bike paths.
Cash and cards. The Netherlands is increasingly cashless and many places only accept cards or contactless payment. However, some small cafes, markets and street vendors still prefer cash. Carry a small amount of euros for these situations.
Work with a travel agent. If planning accommodation, museum bookings and day trips feels overwhelming, a travel agent can handle all of it. We know which museums to prioritise, the best times to visit, and how to structure your days so you're not backtracking all over the city. It saves you time and stress and ensures you don't miss anything important.
Amsterdam is one of those cities that gets under your skin. It's not flashy or loud, it doesn't demand your attention. Instead, it invites you in quietly through a canal side walk at dusk, through the sight of 100 bicycles leaning against a bridge, through the warmth of a brown cafe on a rainy afternoon.
This is a city where history lives alongside modernity, where art and tolerance and freedom are woven into the fabric of daily life. It's a place where you can spend hours in a world-class museum, then cycle through a park eating stroopwafels, then sit by a canal with a beer and feel completely, utterly content.
Amsterdam rewards curiosity. Wander down a side street and you'll find a hidden courtyard. Duck into a bookshop and discover a cafe hidden in the back. Rent a bike and suddenly the entire city opens up to you. Don't overplan. Leave room for spontaneity. That's when Amsterdam shows you its best self.
Get your visa or ETIAS sorted. Book those museum tickets early. Pack layers and an umbrella. And get ready to fall in love. Whether you're here for the art, the canals, the cycling, or just the feeling of being somewhere truly special, Amsterdam will deliver.
This has been Check-In, Chill Out. If you found this guide helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more destination guides. Drop a comment and let us know. Have you been to Amsterdam or is it on your bucket list?
Until next time, wherever you're checking in, remember to chill out. The world is waiting for you.